70p.
We are live. Fun Times Friday, Phoenix, Arizona. Welcome in. It's a great night. Me
What's
and Mason
happening, everybody?
here. And it's been a couple weeks actually with the holidays and a lot of different things going on. Didn't sit down and up our picks for the last couple weeks. Just kind of watched in peace and stretched our legs. Got to see how the NFL deck shuffled out to end the season. So let's start with our biggest disappointments and our biggest surprises to tally out the season. Each team, what are we thinking?
Well, what a weird way to end the season, right? I mean, that was a lot of pieces falling in that last week between COVID, people sitting out, injuries, unforeseen upsets. Obviously, Justin Herbert not going to be in the playoffs. A lot of people thought they were going to see him, wanted to see him. A great young talent. But shifting to this weekend, I really like the Raiders as the biggest shock. I'm going to go with them 2 weeks in a row on who I think is a surprise team. It really all it takes is one bad game from Joe Burrow. The Cincinnati Bengals offensive line is one of the worst in the leagues, and I just think that the Bengals are the better team, but this weekend Oakland's going to have the better day, and I see them upsetting them in Cincinnati. Um, as far as biggest disappointment of the weekend, I'm going to go with the individual performance of surprisingly Josh Allen, a guy that's been a big name all year long. I just think that the Patriots are a bad matchup for Josh. The weather is going to be terrible, and I don't really know if the Patriots are going to win this. I don't think that I would say Mac Jones is going to have a great game, but I think people expect a lot more out of Josh Allen in Buffalo at this point of his career, and I just think weather conditions combined with a good defensive game plan from Bill Belichick is going to leave some people scratching their head for more on the stat sheet. But what are you thinking?
So to go in, I mean, the more I look at this matchup, I mean, I think the Bengals Raiders game's really a coin flip at this point. Two teams who just haven't won a playoff game in a long time. Weather favors the Bengals, home favors the Bengals. But Derek Carr has that experience. I think he's at the peak of his career right now, talent wise. And the bad thing for the Raiders is they don't have a whole lot of talent around him right now. So, how healthy can Darren Waller be? How healthy can Josh Jacobs be? That's a question. But based on experience and just the will to win, I think the Raiders have a lot to prove after this rocky season. They had like 3 players get arrested. Um, I think they have a
Yeah,
lot to fight for. I think it makes sense that they come out swinging, and the Bengals are just they're a little too hyped. They made the playoffs, smoking cigars in the locker room yet again, um, and they could fall. But at the same time, Joe Burrow is playing at peak what we expected him to be as a draft prospect. He is hurling the rock, multiple 300-yard games to close out the season, and he looks fantastic. So, how healthy is his knee, and what can the Raiders bring to the table? So that's the coin flip there. I think the biggest surprise is going to be the Bills. I honestly think that Belichick is going to be driven to get to the Super Bowl and play Tom Brady. I think they'll fall short, but I think it's just going to be bad weather. It's in Buffalo, yes, but Belichick just has that experience. A lot of the Patriots have that experience, even though
yep.
Mac Jones doesn't. This is a game where you're hitting the under, and you might hit the under by a lot. I mean, we might not get out of the 30s in this game. So that's probably my biggest surprise there is going to be the Patriots upsetting the Bills in the first round. Um, so those are kind of two that I want to look at the most. Although I would say I think the biggest surprise is going to be the Rams. I think the Rams could potentially fall apart. The Cardinals are 8-1 on the road, and they could come in and just get the Rams looking. Matt Stafford on a bad toe, and things could fall apart in the Hollywood. They,
Yeah, yeah. The Matt Stafford's mistake prone. He was in Detroit. He's been mistake prone in LA. You put a lot better crop of receivers around him, a much better coaching staff with Sean McVay, but he's still Matt Stafford, and what that is a really talented quarterback who he can make big plays. He doesn't lack arm strength or accuracy, but he makes mistakes, and sometimes two or three of them. So, as much as Cliff Kingsbury and the Cardinals, we're going to want to go into this weekend and talk about we don't want to focus on LA. We're going to prepare how we want to play and make them adjust and all these football cliches. I just think it's going to come down to what kind of game does Matt Stafford play, because the Cardinals are down some guys on injuries, big players, DeAndre Hopkins, JJ Watt's questionable, James Conner. So they don't really have enough to beat the Rams if the Rams play a great game. And the
Oh,
question just is, do
yeah.
the Rams play a great game, or does Matt Stafford come out and throw a few picks? Because you turn the ball over twice, and now we're talking about this is probably a game late into the third quarter. So that's going to be the big question.
Yeah, and the Rams, I mean, they're wanting to get back to that Super Bowl. They have that experience. Let's not, forget that. So they could, they could try, um, and they probably will put up a fight. I know it's going to be a hell of a game. It's a rivalry, division rivalry, um, but I think that one has the potential to be the biggest shocker. Is the Cardinals just really rebounding and fighting, scrapping around, with the injuries to show who they truly are, and get in there and get to the second round, which from there, things could get real dicey.
One of the things that I was going to ask you to, about this game is how do you see the Rams attacking the Cardinals? Obviously, um, Robert Woods went down. Odell Beckham Jr. kind of slipped into that slot. They have Sony Michel on the ground. Darrell Henderson's running the rock. How do you see them attacking the Cardinals through the air more, through the ground, and then vice versa? How do you see Arizona trying to break down that Rams defense led by Aaron Donald?
Oh, well, one, um, for the Rams, it's just going to be Cooper Cup slants, just Cooper Cup slants, just right over the linebackers. That's going to be the key to just opening up that defense. And then they'll run a 2-back, 3-back system all night and just try to tire the Cardinals out. They'll have the home field advantage. But then again, how good can they move the ball? So it depends what the Cardinals defensive backs do against Cooper Cup. If they can slow him down and force Stafford to throw deep to Odell Beckham, that favors the Cardinals. I think really it does. I think there's going to be interceptions there. I think Buda Baker comes up big. Um, as far as the Cardinals on offense, what I think they're going to do is Kyler Murray's going to be running a lot more this game due to the fact that we might not see James Conner or Chase Edmonds or both out. Who's the third string running back? Not sure.
Eno Benjamin, Arizona State, a local guy. I think he's chomping at the bit to play tomorrow,
Yeah. Well, he's going to get carries
or
because
Sunday.
he's going to get carries. They play Monday night, so there's a couple days out. So that's
That's
why
right.
I haven't wrote off James Conner or Chase Edmonds. Who knows? They might both play. Just tape up their ankles, shoot stem cells into their knees, and just run out of the tunnel because it's the
Exactly.
playoffs. Yeah, it's
Everybody's
the fun.
banged up. Everybody's banged up. I don't really believe Cliff Kingsbury when he talks about their day to day. It's the postseason. Unless one of these guys has a season-ending injury, I think we'll probably see a committee back approach, and you know um, that's just gonna have to be ironed out who gets the most carries. But yeah,
Yeah, as far as the Cardinals go, I think AJ Green has to really have a burning bush moment at this point. He's only what 31. Um,
he's gonna have to step up.
you got to get that call. Chad Ochocinco's got to call him and say, "Look, I'm adjusting your Madden ratings. They're going down if you don't show up this week." And he's got to show up big. I mean, like 11 catches, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's what AJ Green has to do. And Zach Ertz too. Zach Ertz is going to be the pillow guy this whole week. Kyler Murray's going to run a lot. He's going to run and dish the ball over the top to Zach Ertz. Who's the other guy?
Christian Kirk,
Rondell
that's
Moore.
another guy that has to
Expect,
has to show up.
yeah, Christian Kirk. Expect Rondell Moore to play some running back too. Just option plays. I mean, you're going to see option plays quite a bit. Um, and there's also a prop bet, by the way, going to shifting to bets right quick on this game. There's a prop bet for a non QB player to throw a touchdown this week. and it's plus like 2,000. A great bet to take because with teams banged up, you can guarantee some trickery and some substitutions are going to happen. Debo Samuel threw a touchdown week 18. Uh, I could see that happening with Rondell Moore or Benjamin in this game. Some type of reverse triple option trickery down at the goal line. Will it work? Who knows? But that's the type of stuff the Cardinals are going to have to do to pull out this W in Hollywood against a more seasoned, talented. Um, Von Miller's there now. They got Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Eric Weddle. They signed Eric Weddle out of retirement, just eating buffalo jerky and
I
protein
saw
powder.
that. That's a great signing. This at this cycle of the year, the fact that they were even able to get him on the phone is remarkable. And then he signs in LA. Um, he has to have a little bit left in the tank. I mean, he's not too old, so
Oh,
big
fantastic
time.
year! His last year in the league 2 years ago, he started every game. Started every game. So he's durable, he's reliable, and he's a Hall of Famer in my opinion. So that's a guy that he won on that roster, absolutely, and he's gonna be there and provide that. Let's take a look now at there's that first game, I believe. Uh, what is the first game? It's the Bengals and Raiders. It's the first game tomorrow, 2 p.m. for us, 4 p.m. Eastern time. I'm actually gonna pull up the schedule real quick here. My God.
Yeah, got the window open here in my bedroom. Some motorcycle just drove by high speeds. So remember, if you're out there having fun, smoking weed, driving your motorcycle, hope you got a helmet. And would love to hear, anybody in the comments what you guys are drinking on tonight. While you're pulling up the schedules, I'll just tell you, I'm drinking on
We have we have Diggs,
Charm
by the
City.
way. What's up?
What's going
What's
on,
going
Diggs?
on?
Hope you're having a good night, man. So I'm drinking on, like I was saying here, just want to let you know and love to hear what you guys are sipping on. I'm drinking on a Charm City barrel aged mead tonight. Um, Usually going craft beer, but tonight I wanted a little bit of mead. So this is a honey wine with finishes of citrus and a little bit of orange. It's fantastic. There's a bumblebee on the glass bottle. So shout out to Baltimore, cooking that up. What do you got over there? What are you sipping?
Right now, we're drinking local native to Arizona, Four Peaks Brewing Company. Shout out, a nice business
Hey,
down here. We're drinking IPA, the hazy IPA from Four Peaks Brewing Company. It's a favorite of mine. I'll sip it on the weekends. Um, Perfect for football. Not too strong,
quality.
and it's got a nice citrus finish, despite being hoppy. Um, so yeah, I mean, good brews, good football, got to come every time, every playoff season. So that's that first game. It's that Raiders Bengals. Then the night game tomorrow is Patriots visiting the Bills, which we did talk about that already. So let's take a look and just break down the potential score, what we see, because we know it's going to hit the under. We have some background interference here. But no, this game is going to hit the under. Let us know in the comments, guys, what you think, as far as um, the score, predictions, upsets. If you have bets, by the way, if you guys are sports bettors, definitely drop your bets in the comments because we want to see what people are thinking and if our sheets and our parlays make sense. Because hey, who knows? Things can happen in
Yeah.
the playoffs. So Patriots Bills. Give us a final score on that one. What do we see?
Um, I like the Bills to squeak this one out, 20-14, and probably just a really heavy run based game, maybe a defensive or special teams touchdown. But I just think that even if he has a bad game, that Josh Allen's going to find a way to get Buffalo that win. I don't think Mac Jones is ready yet, at least not at the playoff level. And overall, New England, they just lack some spark on offense. I don't know if I believe in them on the road uh, in the postseason.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up and see because I don't believe it snows too much in Alabama. Don't know where exactly Mac Jones is from, where he went to high school, um, but it's going to be a snowy one. And Buffalo's a team that likes to force turnovers. So I think you could possibly win some money here on Mac Jones throwing a pick six or a defensive turnover touchdown at any point in time at this game. But I would say it's probably a fair bet to pick Mac Jones to throw an interception, regardless of what happens. Rookie quarterback on the road, first playoff game in the snow, 0 degrees. We know Darth Belichick is the head coach. He can manipulate the Death Star and and do whatever he wants back there. He's a wizard, you
Oh
know.
yeah.
But that's not going to stop Mac Jones from throwing an interception in his first playoff game. So book that, put your money on that, your life savings. Watch it happen on tomorrow because it's happening. Um, then yeah, I just think this game is a lot closer. I'm going to say this game ends up being 20-16, and I'm pulling the Patriots card. I think Darth Belichick and the Patriots stifle the Bills and get it done. I think what happens is the Bills for sure come out of the gate strong. They probably even go up 10-0 off a potential Mac Jones pick six. And then that's where Darth Belichick gets back there in the Death Star and starts drawing up plays, brings them back. And they've been there before. Mac Jones hasn't, but they've been there before. They'll run the ball, easy screen passes, and I expect the Patriots to at least move to the second round. You know, Belichick really wants to play Brady. I don't think it's quite going to happen. You got a rookie quarterback. So I don't think the Patriots get out of the second round, but they're my pick tomorrow night for sure.
Gonna be a good one. Gonna be a great AFC battle. And every year you watch these playoffs, there's always a couple games that come out, kind of those clashing ESPN documentary games that you want to rewatch 20 years later. So hopefully it's another one in Buffalo, and I'll be watching that one as well. So
The underwhelming game of the weekend comes next. First game of Sunday, which we're going to try to get out and watch here at one of these local places. Um, but Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles go into the pirate ship to face the GOAT, Bruce Arians, and the Buccaneers, Tom Brady. I think that's just a blowout game. I think from what I've been seeing and reading and listening to, Jalen Hurts is probably going to score running the ball. They said the Buccaneers give up the most rushing yards and rushing touchdowns to quarterbacks of any team in the league. So expect that.
wow.
Expect that to happen. But again, it's Jalen Hurts versus the GOAT. Not happening. Don't bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs. Buccaneers probably destroying this one. But Eagles score more than they should. Probably big game 48-24 in Florida. Tampa pulls it out.
Yeah, that's a pretty fair prediction. Um, just don't see any path to victory here for Philly either. Not enough playmakers on offense. Really, not enough of an identity. And defensively, they've had a good share of struggles this year. So obviously, you don't want to welcome in Tom Brady hunting down his eighth ring. The hooved goat just getting younger with time. One of those computers that has just, we talked about disguised himself as a human and just continues to break down people. So, yeah, bad news for Philly. Heat up a Philly cheesesteak, a hot dog, a beer, throw on an Adam Sandler movie, and just try to forget it, man. There's going to be a next season. So, Bucks roll.
Yeah, if you're in Philadelphia, avert your eyes to the deadline as Ben Simmons hopes to be shipped out because there's no advancement here. Goat rolls, Buccaneers go on. We have a game that was a rivalry game in the 90s, not so much nothing anymore. It used to be Steve Young and Troy Aikman,
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy
Mm-hmm.
Garoppolo, and Dak Prescott now. What do we see here? Cowboys are the 3-point favorite. It's a 51 over under. Where's the money and where's your head telling you on this one?
Yeah, well, the 49ers have pretty much heard all week how the Dallas Cowboys, are better. They've got more stars. They're going to come in, I think, pretty pissed off and ready to play. But, there's also that storyline, too. I'm sure Cowboys have heard that the Niners might upset them. They might beat them. So I think there's a little bit of doubt on both sides going into this game. And I just think it's going to sink the Niners. Dak Prescott's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. I definitely am going to trust him more when it matters. And, I think the 49ers are going to keep this game pretty close. They might even lead at halftime by a few, but ultimately, I just don't see who's going to guard Amari Cooper, CD Lamb, Dalton Schultz, Tony Pollard off the edge. I just see too many mismatches for the San Francisco defense. So I'm going to go Dallas 34, San Francisco 20.
Yeah, and the Cowboys have been rolling as of lately. Let's not forget it's in the palace, the house that Jerry Jones built. So there's going to be some favoritism happening, and the Cowboys are just a better team, but I don't think the NFL is going to let the Cowboys lose this game because it's surprising what the 49ers did. Um, but everybody talks about how they're not America's team anymore and they just lose and they suck ass. Well, this is the year that the NFL and the refs say, "Hey, look, they've been playing good. They might play good. They probably are going to play good. We're going to give them a little boost." Cowboys all day in this one. I think they cover that spread of 3 flat too. I think they win by 5-8. Get this thing done and wrap it up. Move on to the second round.
Yeah, I would agree. They cover the spread. I think they crush -3. Like I said, I think I'd give them 10 to 14 points even, but at a at a minimalist perspective, probably like you said, 5 to 8 at worst.
Yeah, and I mean Jimmy Garoppolo's been in and out. They haven't really had a solid quarterback all year. It's Jimmy Garoppolo. It's Trey Lance. The one consistent Debo Samuel. Will he throw another touchdown? That's what. So I'm saying tonight, get your phones out in the morning. Get your phones out. Check the prop bets. Put those bets in. Little $2, $3, $5 bets. You can flip to 30, 40s. You can even put down if you're real confident in something crazy, 10, 15, $20 on these and win pretty big. So definitely take a look if you're in a sports betting state that supports the great apps like FanDuel, Caesars, DraftKings, and more. The next game, Big Ben farewell tour. Chiefs are red hot. Spreads at 12.5. Kermit Mahomes and the Chiefs from Kansas City. What's the final score on this one? Do we have an upset on our hands because the Chiefs can't play defense? Does Big Ben have a chip on his shoulder? I mean, he certainly does. He's shrugging it off like it's a guaranteed L in the press conferences. But what if he comes out and Mike Tomlin's like, "Hey, you know what, man? Like, let's just get this thing done." And they go into Arrowhead and just lay the smackdown.
Yeah, so I don't know if I didn't know this till today. I don't know if you know or the people, anybody that's following along, but this is actually the biggest spread that the Mike Tomlin, uh, Ben Roethlisberger Steelers have faced in the postseason ever. So in all that time, which just tells you how good really Pittsburgh has been as an organization, it's dating back to 2004. I mean, that's a long time
100%.
to not be a big 12.5 point favorite in the play or underdog in the playoffs. So, and there was some times when they even had a backup quarterback in the postseason because guys were dinged up. But I don't
Oh,
know
that's
if
right. Yeah,
that's
Charlie Batch. We got to see Charlie Batch at one point. I mean,
right, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't see that. I don't know if it'll matter this weekend because the Pittsburgh Steelers have just been dreadful on offense all year long, and you know I just don't see how it's going to work out this weekend. They've been bad all year. The defense isn't really the steel curtain anymore, so you can't lean on that. So
yeah,
I just I can't
not
yeah
at
I
all.
can't see how we can lean on them in any way. I don't know if Kansas City covers 12.5. That's a lot of points in the playoffs in a kind of a run heavy environment, but I do think they cover 10. Give me Kansas City 27 and Pittsburgh 17.
27-17. Yeah, I mean that's a fair game. I would say, man, the people that bet the spread there unhappy in an event like that. Um, what I would
Oh
say
yeah.
here is I think this actually ends up, yeah, not covering the spread either. I think the Steelers play up to expectations. I mean, they know it's been Roethlisberger's potential last game if they don't win. So you want to play your best. Everybody's going to be playing on a whole nother level. Um, it's a 13-point spread, more or less. I mean, 12.5. So it's going to be a lot to cover. It's a playoff game. How healthy is Najee Harris? He's been in and out of practice this week. I still think the Steelers cover. I think the Steelers cover this. They probably lose by 8 or 9. Um, and it's going to come down to the fourth quarter. Probably a turnover. I would even say a Ben Roethlisberger interception after a stellar performance. Trying to come back and heave the rock probably ends in him, walking off the field with an interception and the Chiefs moving on.
Yeah, and it'll be time to turn the page from there. I mean, Pittsburgh is going to be looking for a new quarterback. It's no secret. Roethlisberger plans to hang it up. So, the end of an era potentially right in front of us.
So here's a crazy statistic. All right. So since I've been around and watching football, the Pittsburgh Steelers have only had three quarterbacks: Cordell Stewart, Tommy Maddox, and Ben Roethlisberger. That's how stellar this organization is at just keeping the pieces intact and winning games. They went to a Super Bowl with Cordell Stewart. They were competitive with Tommy Maddox, and then Roethlisberger came and won a Super Bowl there. So, or did they even win two? I don't even know. They may have even won two.
I think they won too because they won their first one against Seattle in 2006. No, I'm sorry. It would have been in 2000. Boy, I think that was 05. 05, 06, they beat Seattle. And then they beat the Cardinals in that 08
Oh,
Super
they did
Bowl.
win two. They went three times, lost to the
Oh,
Packers. Yeah.
that's right. They did lose to the Packers that year.
So yeah, Roethlisberger. I mean, three Super Bowls, two of three. That's not bad. 66-7 win percentage in the Lombardi game. So you're talking about a Hall of Famer. It's his last game. He's gonna cover the spread for sure. He's gonna cover the spread. There's no doubt about it. We need Chase Claypool healthy. These guys got to Deontay Johnson, Najee Harris. They got to play well. It all comes down to the supporting cast because we know Ben has faded and been fading all season. We've seen it, but it's still the game. He's a Hall of Famer, and when it's your last game and your back's against the wall, expect a heave fest. So,
100%.
yep, Steelers cover that. Let's move on to the Monday night and final game: Rams, Cardinals. Spreads at 4. We're in Hollywood. Both teams are banged up. What's our final score and our thoughts? We've talked about it earlier on as far as the schemes that the teams take here. We both think this game can go either way, but what are we saying as a final pick to wrap it up?
I'm going to go Rams 24, Cardinals 20. And I just think the difference is probably going to be coaching, which the Rams clearly have the advantage there with Sean McVay over Cliff Kingsbury, and health. The Rams are healthier than the Cardinals. The Cardinals don't have DeAndre Hopkins. Um, I think they needed him to go into LA and win this game in the postseason. And
For sure.
without him, Cliff Kingsbury's just he's not going to have a game plan drawn up that's going to be able to mitigate the losses. So yeah, I'm going to take the Rams on that one to cover.
So for me, I think now this is really huge because it forces a lot of things to happen. The Cardinals, as we know, they are 8-1 on the road. But several guys got to step up, like we talked about. AJ Green's got to return to that form. He's got to realize, hey, I got to be that number one, at least for this game again. This is what you traded for Zach Ertz for, by the way, if you're Cardinals management. Now Zach Ertz is in there. He's got to play like Dallas Clark in the playoffs with Peyton Manning. Rondell Moore's got to step up. You got Christian Kirk. So the weapons can be, but I think it goes down to if Chedmans and James Conner don't play, if both of them don't play, it's a loss. They're not going to win that game. If you get one of them, I might take the Cardinals on this, and I think the Cardinals win this game in overtime. Give me a 27-24 Cardinals win in overtime against the Rams and move to the second round.
Love it, love it. And let's throw in too. This is a Monday night game. Let's throw in a little special here. Who is your X factor player of that game? Because we tossed out several names. And obviously, there's a lot of guys that need to step up. That's a general statement of the playoffs. But who's the X factor for your pick, the Arizona Cardinals, to win that game?
I'm going to say AJ Green. Again, like I said, he has to, and he knows that. And I think it's time. This is what they signed him for. He's underperformed all season. They're going to replay that clip 100 times of him looking the other way. I mean, he sees that in his sleep. So like I said, 11 catches, 120 plus yards, 2 touchdowns. That's what I expect from AJ Green. And then expect some trickery, some Rondell Moore, Benjamin triple option in the red zone. Um, but it's going to have to happen. You're going to need that. And then the defense has to stop Cooper Kupp, and you have to eliminate the deep ball, which I think Buda Baker is going to eliminate the deep ball against Odell Beckham, not necessarily in his prime anymore. But again, over the middle, can you contain Cooper Kupp? Because they're just going to hit him with slants and then run the ball and then throw you off all night. Kingsbury's going to be sweating in that black turtleneck, and things are not going to look good. So you gotta lean on your veterans here. I think the Cardinals still have their weapons. They have to be pumped up by the fact they're a good team. They were at one point the number one team and the favorite, it looked like, by far. Things have since slipped, but hey, and I
Very
honestly
similar.
I expect, by the way, I expect JJ Watt to play. Deer antler spray, bicep sleeve, whatever he needs, get him on the field. He's going to be out there. Even if he plays like 15 snaps, just get him out there, let him rush a couple times, just on the sideline flex, and that's all you need. Get to the second round. So, want the Cardinals to win. I'm going with it. And yeah, Cardinals 27, Rams 24.
Exciting stuff. Exciting stuff. I haven't been this excited for an NFL playoff. I think in a couple years, I'm pretty excited, man. It just felt like it took forever to get there this year. That one extra week really wasn't much, but we're finally here and looking forward to a jam-packed weekend of football. So
Yeah. And I mean, it could have to do with the first betting season for Arizona. I mean, if you're in Arizona, it's the first playoffs you can legally bet. As a 21 plus beer drinking sports better, I can tell you this playoffs holds a sacred part in sports history. As somebody that's just watched the sport forever, the first Super Bowl that I remember was the Patriots and the Packers in 1996. Brett Favre. Been watching a long, long time. You're talking John Madden. Rest in peace to the legend. Um, it's a sacred time. You love sports to the fact, hey, let's go out and make a little guap. Let's make a little guapo dinero on some NFL football. So that's what's going down this weekend. Um, we're doing dinner tomorrow night and going to be checking out some of these games. And of course, Sunday we're going to try to get out there and watch the morning game. We'll see how that goes. Um, as of right now, let's see how it progresses. See how our picks go. Give us our NFC, AFC title games and our Super Bowl matchup.
wow, really digging into the cookie jar for some locks here. That's tough, man. That's tough. Um, I think AFC Championship. We are gonna see a rematch of Bills Chiefs, which we've seen that in the past, and that tilted Kansas City's way. So see if Buffalo has some room to punch back here in the coming weeks. And then on the NFC side, I am gonna go with Green Bay and well, I'm going to go with Green Bay and LA. I'm going to exclude Tom Brady. I hope I don't look bad for that in a few weeks, but I just think the Buccaneers have just too many problems in the secondary. They're playing guys who really aren't postseason defenders. I just think that it's going to catch up to them. It's bound to. So LA and Rams, or I mean, so Rams Packers there, and then you said Super Bowl.
Yep.
Um, Super Bowl, I am going to go ahead and say Packers, Chiefs.
Yeah, I think that's funny because that's exactly going to be my pick right now. I think the Chiefs get a little bit more revenge. I think their defense is coming together at the right time. I think they end up, getting it done and getting back to the Super Bowl, um, and winning the Super Bowl. I think the Chiefs actually win the Super Bowl this year and beat the Packers in an explosive game. Um, but yeah, I think I'm looking at the brackets here. I'm looking at the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs come out. I think it's going to be Chiefs and Patriots in the NFC title game. and then I'm going to take the Packers and the Cowboys in the NFC title game. Or no, sorry, they're in the same bracket. So they actually play, by the way. The next round is going to be Packers Cowboys. That's going to be one hell of a game to watch. NFC
That'll be
title
fun.
game. I think we're going to be looking at, let's see, if we have the Cardinals come out there, the Cardinals would play. No, you know what? I think we could. It's just so weird how these brackets look, but I'm going to go Cardinals and Packers. I want to see that happen. And I think they always play fantastic, fantastic games. I think the Redbirds fly a little high, and then Aaron Rodgers just comes to town and squishes them, um, as expected, you know. But yeah, give me Chiefs, Packers. We got the Chiefs and Patriots in the AFC, Packers and the Redbirds in the NFC, and then Mahomes, Kermit adding to his legacy, defeating who some people say is the GOAT and Aaron Rodgers, but just not, in my opinion. Obviously, Brady, 7 rings, going for 8. Um, no chance. So those are my picks there to round it out. And I'm probably gonna pop some of these in. Like I said, I'm gonna pop some of these bets in. For my bets, I have, a lot of different mixes and matches as we always do. Um,
Got to. You got to. You fall in love. We do it so many times. I've accidentally done it because I forget to check who I have on which sheets, and then by the end of it, I'm like, oh, I knew I don't want to put one team on 4 or 5 sheets, but you just forget that they're on which ones, and then
yep.
that's the mistake I made when you're in a rush, and it's like, fuck, 70% of my parlays are
Have
contingent
the
on one
same, yeah.
outcome, and then it's terrible because no matter how far the rest of that sheet goes, you're doomed and tied to that in an early game. So
Yeah,
not this weekend.
that happened a lot early on in my betting career, but I think it's easier. It gets better as the playoffs go on. I mean, into the playoffs, you have way less teams, way less room for error. But there's those upset games. I think this wild card round is much more of a lock than as it goes on. I mean, once you're talking these top tier teams that start playing, like when you talk Chiefs Titans, don't ask me to bet on that game. I don't know what the hell's going to happen. That game, by the way, will be in Nashville. So, we
That's
know
going
what
to be
happened.
great. That is going to
Yeah,
be a
we
great
know
game.
what happened last time. And then uh, you would have the Patriots or the Bills play the winner of the Bengals Raiders. So that's more of that toss up game, and how that goes.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. No,
So
it's going to be good.
we got a great week ahead of us. And then, by the way, guys, this spring, fret not. We do not have a whole year without football. We get the USFL coming back for the first time since the 1980s. How about that? So you can guarantee I'm going to dive in and take a peek at some of the teams' rosters. I might even, we might even try to get some USFL players on the pod. If I can get the third string Houston Roughnecks punter on the pod and just break it down how it goes, would be fantastic. So if you're out there, I think they're hosting open tryouts for that soon. They've been running the ads. So yeah,
That should
that's
be
going to be
fun.
fun.
Yeah. With the collapse
Unfortunately,
of the Alliance Football League a few years ago, you already got a
yeah,
new
that's
contender
so
stepping up.
unfortunate. Man, Arizona finally had a team. I mean, of course, we got the Rattlers, but they're just a whole total different concept. So yeah, the hot shots were amazing, man. I mean, XFL, we don't have a Phoenix team, I don't believe yet. I mean, I don't think they've announced unless they're keeping the same branding. But no Phoenix teams that I know of yet for both leagues. Just the Cardinals, Sun Devils, and the Rattlers. We got 3 teams, so we gotta just be happy with that.
That's a pre-order that away he hate me jersey in honor of just random leagues popping back up. You remember that guy?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting a USFL jersey. I mean, because here's the thing: I was never alive when they played. I only read about it and like biographies about players, like Steve Young. I was reading his autobiography when I was like 8 or 9, and yeah, he played in the USFL. So I was like, man, just so the idea of another NFL or another football league was always so intriguing to me. So I'm down
Yeah,
for it. I'm gonna check out the teams. I got to pick a team to wage my allegiance to. So I'll be there and ordering those jerseys because I missed out on the Hot Shots jerseys. I got a Hot Shots football in my closet.
Damn, yeah, we did fuck up. We should have got Hot Shots jerseys. Man, major collector items. Get the fuck out. We fucked
Yeah,
up.
just lost. I was at the
Ah,
team shop too, just ready to drop money.
John Wofford, is that his name? Is that who it was or somebody
Hmm.
else?
I don't know.
No,
I
he
think
went to
so.
Wofford, right? He went
Yeah,
to
I don't.
Wofford.
I don't
That's why I'm
remember
saying
his name.
that.
Yeah, something. I don't
uh,
know. But yeah, just he played
oh,
a little
oh,
bit.
oh. It was John Wolford, I think.
On
That was
Wolford. Yeah.
a needed that man. We should have got that home Hot Shots Arizona John Wolford jersey.
Oh yeah, they were
Just
gonna.
frame
They
it.
could have potentially upset Steve Spurrier's undefeated Apollos and hoisted the Lions trophy. Could
He
have been
looked
a
like Aaron
legend.
Rodgers. I mean, against AAF defenses, he absolutely looked like Aaron Rodgers. Like he would just, as far as like his yardage, like he would just chunk up plays.
Yeah, they had a nice team. I mean, that Hot Shots team was really nice. So yeah, it'll be cool to see some other leagues come into play. We got college basketball season, of course, in full swing, NBA in full swing. So all is not lost. Before you know it, spring training and the USFL will be here, and then we'll start talking about the draft and everything in between. So
It starts all over again. Yep,
yeah,
it's one cycle. It just circles and circles. So, looking forward to it. Glad to be on, and we'll talk about this little review in post wild card weekend.
absolutely, yep. Great times, guys. Thanks for joining. Fun times await. Fun times Friday. Let's enjoy these playoffs. We'll see you on the next episode of Fun Times Await.